It's part of a larger overall picture, Jamie's story. And I want to go back to something Ben said. I don't think it was so much necessarily the kiss. That was the conclusion of it. That was kind of the climax of the entire thing. But it wasn't so much the kiss, I think, as much as the entire coverage that Scott got throughout the entire broadcast. The way ESPN was completely open about who he was, his marital status, his spouse, showing his spouse, covering it just as they would have covered anything else. That, I think, was the bigger deal. I think you have to give a lot of credit to ESPN because even though in some regards it was extremely calculated, you could tell before this broadcast, because they know who's going to be on the broadcast beforehand, they knew Scott was going to be on the broadcast, and you could tell they went out of their way to make sure they were going to treat him just as they would have treated anybody who was in that situation, whether they were straight or gay. To me, that's the bigger story than the kiss. The kiss is just the ultimate ending to it. It's the storybook ending to it. But it was the way that ESPN covered it. And I don't even work for ESPN anymore, so it's not as if I'm trying to praise them, but it was the way they went out of their way to make the whole situation comfortable for everybody. I think that's the bigger story than the kiss.
Ben, is that part of the mission here ultimately? Sorry, Scott, did you want to jump in?
No, if I could just clarify something real quick. It really wasn't ESPN that did that. That was actually the PBA. ESPN really, I mean, they must have decided to let it in or let it stay the way it was. But the PBA, the Professional Bowlers Association, and I had that conversation beforehand when I made the show because the previous time I made the show when I'd won, they referred to Craig as my friend, and I wasn't out publicly, and they didn't quite know how to deal with the situation, and I don't know if they thought they were going to out me any more than I already was, but I kind of had to sit down with all of the people in charge of production at the PBA and really, said to them, I want the same treatment for Craig that you would give to anybody else's wife that makes a show. Because anybody else's wife gets good airtime, the name down, interview, the whole bit. And I said, I just want the same recognition for him that you would give anyone else. And I see a lot of the articles have been giving a lot of credit to ESPN, which, they probably reviewed the footage and they left it in. So that's great on them for doing it. But the actual decision to do it was the Professional Bowlers Association of all of the...
He's actually right. Because I've talked to some people involved with the PBA broadcast in the past, and it is their production.
Right.
They basically
ESPN
rent the
takes
time
the
from
feed
and
ESPN the PBA. Okay. Well, I mean, there's credit all around then. I mean, unfortunately, we do have to go. Scott, I can tell that it sounds like you're actually at a bowling event. Are you competing at the moment? How did you do today, mate?
Yeah, actually, I'm competing to be a part of Team USA for 2013. We're in Vegas right now for Team USA trials. I just finished day 2 of the trials a little earlier today. My best friend is actually bowling to be on the female side of the Team USA. She's one of, if not the best female bowler in the world. So she's out there bowling right now.
Well, break a leg.
I got to get my pom-poms out and go.
Okay, break a leg, mate.
You're a lefty. It's always easier.
Great to have you all here.